Good morning, everyone. So we will discuss about power system stability. In yesterday class, we have discussed the introduction about the power system stability. Today, we will know about the classification of power system stability. So, what is the definition of power system stability? So, according to the SIGRE IEEE definition, so we can define the power system stability is the stability of an electric power system for a given initial operating condition. Given initial operating condition to regain a state of operating equilibrium after being subjected to a physical disturbance with most stable system variables bounded so that practically the entire system remain intact. Okay, this is the definition given by the IEEE standard. So SIGRE means it is the institute, French institute. It is located in Paris, France. So it is established in 1921. Sigre means so there is a French in French word. It will stands like this. So the meaning is Council on Large Electric System. Council on Large Electric System. So this is the Sigre. So according to this, the power system stability it was defined, and so our power system it is highly a non-linear one. The power system is highly non-linear system. So because of this, the stability study it requires study of non-linear dynamics of large system. So it means so the load that is called as demand. It is a very complicated system. We cannot analyze exactly so where the load is exactly coming. Okay, because at every moment the load is fluctuating. Load is continuously fluctuating with respect to time. Okay, and we have lot of static and dynamic devices. Static like transformers, resistive loads, and dynamic load means the motor. So very non-linear dynamic large system is there, power system is there. So we need to maintain the balance between the supply, the power supply and demand. Okay, so how much consumers are there, how much we want to generate, so both should be tally, because we cannot store the power here, we cannot store the AC power. We can store a DC power but very little bit with a short duration of time. With a short duration we can store the DC power, and also very small power. Small power can be stored in batteries. Okay, but whatever the power generations in terms of megawatt or gigawatt, at the same time how you are generating, at the same time we need to consume the power. Okay, we need to consume the power. Both should be done interconnectively. Okay, it will be continuous process. How much load is there, at the same time we need to generate the power, at the same time it should be consuming. If does not consume, it will be what happen, it will become wasted. Okay, we cannot generate more power. Okay, instead of demand is less. If demand is less, you are producing surplus of power. Okay, so therefore the maintaining, the generating is the different and consuming is the different, and managing between those two, it is a very much complication. Okay, suppose in your house there are 4 members. Okay, your mother is preparing the food, right? So that food, so if the preparing of food is for 4 members. Okay, sometimes guest will come immediately, surprisingly 2 members will come, so the food is shortage will be taken. Okay, or if you prepare the extra food, it will becomes wasted. So like that, how you are managing depending upon the demand and how you are producing. Okay, so both we are balancing. It should not be wasted, it should not be shortage also. So like that, how you are producing the power, and at the same time we need to consume. Okay, we need to balance both supply and as well as demand. Okay, so that balancing, uh, here in this case the stability will having the major role, that is called as the stability. So under the disturbance condition or overload condition, so because of shortage and all these things, so that is the directly affecting on the power system. So now we will look at the classifications of power system stability. So this classification of power system stability is mainly steady state stability and transient stability. So in that steady state stability, again we have static and dynamic stabilities. So we look into the detailed classification. So the power system stability is divided into 3 types: rotor angle stability, frequency stability, and voltage stability. Rotor angle stability, frequency stability, and voltage stability. So in that first classification, in that first one, rotor angle stability is classified as small disturbance angle stability. Small disturbance angle stability. It is also called as steady state stability. It is small disturbance angle stability is also called as steady state stability. Okay, and another one is large rotor angle stability. Small disturbance and large rotor angle. Large rotor angle stability. So rotor angle is stability is divided into two, that is the small disturbance angle stability and large rotor angle stability. So small disturbance angle stability is also called as steady state stability, and large rotor angle stability is also called as transient stability. So that is defined here: steady state and transient. So steady state means small disturbance angle stability, and transient means large rotor angle stability. Both are comes under the rotor angle stability. So rotor angle we have explained yesterday, that is rotor angle is called as delta. Okay, explained yesterday what is rotor angle. Okay, this rotor is rotating because of overload condition, so the angle between these two, so that is it will move from the original axis, that is the magnetic locking, so that is called as delta. Okay, the delta is the rotor angle. So if it is the rotor angle is larger, okay, the rotor angle is larger, that is called as transient stability. So if rotor angle is smaller delta, so that is called as steady state stability. Okay, so smaller means this is for small disturbance will happen. So if delta is more means the large disturbance will be happen. Because of large disturbance, delta will be more. Okay, if it is more than 90 degree, we cannot achieve the stability. Okay, and in this case, rotor angle stability, the duration is very short term duration. These two, steady state and transient stability, it will having a short term stability. Okay, so in terms of seconds, so we will define where exactly in transient and steady state stability how much consuming 0 to 3 seconds and 0 to 10 seconds. So like that it will appear up to a small period. For example, so look here, so because of disturbance the dampings will be produced. Damping means a bouncing. So after a small variation, so then your system it will reach us to the normal position. So this is the normal position, so this is called a steady state. Okay, so this is divided into transient wave and steady state wave with respect to the time. After the disturbance, it will reach us to the normal position. So this is called a steady state limit. So if you having a ball, okay, if you bounce the ball on the ground, so what happens? The ball, if you bounce the ball on the ground, so it will bounce like this. After some times, the bouncing wave will be reduces. Finally, it will come to the steady state position. Okay, so that is called as the damping. So continuous damping. Finally, it will reach the steady state. So these are called as transients. These are called as transient. Okay, so this is affecting to the power system also. So next is voltage stability and frequency stability. So in voltage stability, so voltage is going to be varied because of disturbance. So in that disturbance, one is large disturbance, another one is small disturbance. So because of small disturbance, voltage variation. So then voltage will come back to the stability position, regain the original value. That is small disturbance voltage stability. Another one is large disturbance voltage stability. Okay, so large disturbance voltage stability, it will for a short, both are having at the for short duration as well as long term duration. Okay, in that it may be appear for short term or long term. So both, so small disturbance it will be for long moment, it may be there, or it may be for short duration also there. And similarly large disturbance it is also it will appear for short duration or long duration. So depending upon how you are clearing the fault, how fast you are acting the circuit breaker, so that is depending upon that one. And next one is frequency stability. So in that frequency stability, short term frequency stability and long term frequency stability. So we will look one by one according to the definition. So rotor angle stability. So what is rotor angle stability? Rotor angle stability is the ability of interconnected synchronous machine. So it is rotor angle stability come into the picture, the stability of machine, synchronous machine. Okay, or generator what you are having. So that synchronous machine, it is a rotor. So I have told that is the rotor angle that is deviated because of disturbance, that is called as delta. Okay, again it will come back to the original position after clearing the fault. Okay, it is out of, it will move out of synchronism. So because of the disturbance, so again we need to reconnect it to the synchronism process. So that is called as rotor angle stability. Okay, interconnected synchronous machine of a power system to remain in synchronism. Okay, so the machine has to remain in synchronism. So that is called as the stability, called as rotor angle stability. So what is the steady state stability? So this is the, in that rotor angle stability there is a two classification: steady state stability and transient stability. Okay. So what is steady state stability? Steady state stability is defined as the ability of power system to bring the stable condition or remain synchronism after a small disturbance. It is related to the small disturbance. Small disturbance. Okay. So in this case, steady state stability, it will appear for 10 to 20 seconds. 10 to 20 seconds. Okay, so the time frame for the small signal stability is in the order of 10 to 20 seconds after disturbance occur. After disturbance occur, so it will appear for 10 to 20 seconds. Okay, so what is steady state stability limit? The steady state stability limit is the maximum power that can be transferred by a machine to receiving the system without loss of synchronism. So this is called as steady state stability limit. There is a limit is there, it should not cross. So that is the delta should not cross 90 degree. So that is the stability limit for this. Okay. So similarly, transient stability, that is defined as, it is defined as the ability of the power system to bring it to a stable condition or remain in synchronism after large disturbance. Okay, so the definition will be common for all the things, only small changes. So for steady state stability, so this is for small disturbance. So my steady state stability, it is for smaller disturbance, and for transient stability, so this is for large disturbance. Okay, and similarly we have transient stability limit. A transient stability limit is the maximum power that can be transferred by a machine to a fault or receiving system during the transient state without loss of synchronism. So whenever the fault is occur, at that time how much power is transferred from the supply end to the receiving end, okay, at the time of fault, okay, without loss of synchronism, without loss in stability. Okay, without loss in stability, how much power is transferring. Okay, so that is your limit, transient stability limit. It always less than the steady state stability limit. So transient stability limit, TSL, it is always less than SSL. Okay, so dynamic stability. So what do you mean by a dynamic stability? So So dynamic stability means it is the ability of the power system to remain in synchronism after initial swing. So initial swinging means that is the damping. So that is called as transient stability period. Under the transient stability period, whatever the swing is there, until the system has settled down to the new steady state equilibrium condition. New steady state equilibrium condition. So before that, whatever the signals are there, that is the dampings are there, that is the swings are there. So that has resettled, okay, to the new equilibrium condition. New equilibrium means, so it has to go to the original position. Okay, so that is the called as dynamic stability. And voltage stability. Okay, so coming to the after completion of rotor angle stability, so in that rotor angle steady state and transient stability we have discussed. So coming to the voltage stability, so large voltage stability and small voltage stability. So what do you mean by the voltage stability? It is the ability of the power system to maintain the steady acceptable voltages. For example, you are receiving the 11 kV voltage, okay, after any fault is occur, so due to that fault, so your voltage will be reduced, voltage may reduce, so instead of 11 kV you will get 10 kV. Okay, so that is because of the fault occurring. So how much you are you clear the fault, okay, how much fast you are clearing the fault, again the voltage 10 kV, it is regain it original synchronism and it bring back whatever they maintain the voltage at the grid. Okay, constant voltage, to maintain the constant voltage, and it has come to the original position of 11 kV. Okay, that is called as voltage stability. Ability of power system to maintain steady acceptable voltage. So how much you are receiving the acceptable voltages are there, it should not down or it should not more. Okay, so at all the buses, so whatever the voltage buses are there, so it should remain constant in the grid, the system under normal operating condition, and after being subjected to the disturbance, after being subjected to the disturbance or a fault also, the voltage should not vary. Suppose it is varied, it has to come to the original position as early or as quickly. Okay, so that is called as voltage stability. So in that voltage stability, so there are two types, small signal and large signal. So in transient stability, so it is a very short duration it will be occurring, so that is 3 to 5 seconds. Okay, if you compare these two, for steady state that is 10 to 20 seconds, and transient stability it will, the time frame is 3 to 5 seconds. And coming to the voltage stability, so we have two different voltage, small disturbance voltage stability and large disturbance voltage stability. Small disturbance voltage stability means small disturbance voltage stability. So it refers to the system ability to maintain the steady state voltage when subjected to the small perturbations. That is called a small disturbance, such as incremental change in load. Suppose you are putting the load, suppose 10 kg load. Okay, so then you apply 20 kg load, 30 kg load. So what happens? Gradually your load is increasing. Okay, so in that case, that is called as a small disturbance voltage stability. So if you the voltage is increases, the load is increases, so voltage will be reducing gradually in step by step. So voltage is reducing gradually. Okay, if the limit cross, so then your system is come out of stability. Okay, so this is called a small perturbation. So at constantly, so what happened, So you are out of synchronism or you are out of stability. So unknowingly, so what happens? Load will be gradually increasing. So at that time, voltage is suddenly dropping. So that is not suddenly dropping, that is gradually dropping. Okay. So this is called as small disturbance voltage stability. So large disturbance voltage stability means, so in that case, suddenly load is increases or suddenly fault occurs. Due to that, the voltage will be reduced instantly. Okay, with very rapidly the voltage will be reducing. Okay, in this case, large disturbance voltage stability. It refers to the system ability to maintain steady state voltage following for large disturbance. So based on the time frame of interest, voltage stability problem may vary from few seconds to 10 minutes. Few seconds to 10 minutes. This is the time frame for this voltage stability. Okay, so in that voltage stability we have short term and also long term voltage stability. Short term refer to the dynamics of fast acting load components in several seconds, and for long term voltage stability, so it lead to the slower acting equipment like your transformer tap changers. So tap changing, it will be slowly, it will be changes to the one load to the another load, and generator current limiters and time several minutes. So the time of long term system voltage stability, it will time frame of several minutes in terms of 10 minutes. Okay, this is about voltage stability. And last one is frequency stability. So what is the frequency stability? So at the same time, frequency is also going to be vary whenever the fault occurs. Okay, frequency of the system is also going to be vary because your rotor speed will changes, because yesterday we have explained. So rotor, it has connected to the prime mover. So mechanical power PM is input to the generator. So the generator connected to the grid. So suppose suddenly fault occur, your PE will become zero, power electrical power generation is zero. Okay, and mechanical power is forced to increase the power in the motor, that is the generator. So due to this, there is a change in delta angle. Okay, it will lead to the unstable position. So because of the speed increases, what happens, the frequency is also increasing, because f is equal to Pn by 120. So if speed is increases, frequency is also going to be increases. So we need to maintain frequency constant, because our acceptable frequency is 50 hertz in our country. So we need to maintain the 50 hertz constant. Okay, so otherwise what happen, so the grid frequency and generator frequency does not match. So again it leads to the unstable. Okay, therefore it refers to the ability of power system to maintain steady frequency. It means constant frequency even after the disturbance. Okay, following several disturbance between the generation and load. Okay, so this is generation, between generation and load we need to maintain frequency of constant, that is 50 hertz. So it is depends upon the ability to restore the equilibrium between system generation and load with minimum loss of load. Okay, so this is called as frequency stability. Frequency value is also to be maintained constant even in the fault occurs. Okay, so how you are maintain constant, immediately we need to isolate the faulty section. Okay, you need to isolate the faulty section. So in power system there is, it is not a only one bus system. Okay, it has several grids. So it is not a only one generator, it is a number of generators are present, number of loads are present. Okay, so all are connected, interconnected. Suppose fault occurs at any point, so this fault current, it will enter to the all other healthy systems also. Okay, suppose if it was 1, 2, 3, 4, so n number of systems are there. Suppose fault occur in first line. Okay, so that fault current may enter in second line, third line, fourth line also. So these are healthy system. Okay, so if you isolate this fault from the remaining healthy system, so we can maintain the frequency, voltage and all these things, the stability in other healthy system, right? By isolating this particular fault. Okay, only what happened, this first line is disconnected. Okay, and remaining entire 9 lines are operated in normal and healthy condition. That is, we are maintaining the stability in another 9 line. And as soon as possible, how you are clearing the fault, this fault, and maintain the stability in the first line also. Okay, so likewise, the system is very non-linear in nature and it is very complex. So to analyze, so hence we need to maintain the stability. It is very much important. Otherwise, the power system is going to be collapse. So if it is collapse, then it is called as blackout. Okay, this is about a classification of power system stability. So that classification are rotor angle stability, frequency stability and voltage stability. So in rotor angle stability, steady state stability and transient stability, there are two concepts. And in frequency stability, it occurs for short term duration and long term duration. And voltage stability also having large disturbance stability and small disturbance voltage stability for a short period of time and long period of time. So this is about the classification of stability. Is it clear? The concept is clear for everyone?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
we will look to the one small concepts called as dynamics of synchronous machine. Dynamics of a synchronous machine. So in that, the kinetic energy of the rotor at synchronous machine. So that is given by kinetic energy Ke is equal to half into J into omega square. Okay. So in this case, so multiplied by 10 raised to minus 6 megajoule. So this where J is rotor momentum moment of inertia. Moment of inertia here, J is considered as moment of inertia of the rotor, that is given in kg meter square. And this is considered as WSM. So WSM is the synchronous speed in radian per second. So radian per second. So M represent mechanical degree. So mechanical radians, not degree. Okay, radian per seconds in mechanical, but we require Ws is equal to P by 2 of WSM. So what is the conversion of mechanical to electrical? So that is number of poles divided by 2. Okay, because 360 degree, that is the rotation. Suppose there is a 2 pole, north pole and south pole. So one rotation is 360 degrees is the mechanical rotation. So this is divided by 2, we'll get, that is called the electrical degree, depending upon the number of poles. If number of poles are 4, and ns, so again depending upon that, degree will be again divided by 4. Okay, number of poles is equal to 4. So like that. So therefore considering 2 pole machine, so P by 2, so because one is considered as north pole, another one is considered as south pole, so therefore P by 2. So P by 2 WSM, this will give the WS. So this is the rotor. So note down this derivation in your textbook, so even your notebook. So this is equal to rotor speed in radian per second, that is electrical. So there are mechanical degree and electrical degree. So convert degree in terms of radian. So this is omega is in terms of radian per second mechanical, that is represented by WSM, and WS is equal to P by 2 of WSM. So conversion of mechanical to electrical radian, rotor speed in electrical radian per second. So where P is the number of poles. Okay. So now our equation Ke is equal to, substitute this, so half into J into omega square Sm into 10 raised to 6 minus 6, right? So here half into J into, in the place of omega Sm square, so I will write, so what is omega Sm? If you take omega Sm outside, so 2 times of omega S by P, right? That is 2 by P into omega S. So omega Sm square is there, so it will become square. So therefore 2 by P, I will write this as 2 by P square into omega S. 1 omega S I will write here, multiplied by 10 raised to minus 6, or multiplied by another omega S I will write here. Okay, and therefore Ke can be written as half into, and this term I will write it as M, and this term is omega S. Okay, so what is M here? M is equal to, where M is J into 2 by P whole square into omega S into 10 raised to minus 6. So this is called as moment of inertia. So that is in terms of megajoule second per electrical radian. Okay. So in previously, the moment of inertia is represented by J, Okay, that is the rotor in terms of kg meter square. So now that moment of inertia we are represented in megajoule seconds in terms of electrical radian, that is represented by m. Okay, so now shall define the inertia constant. Inertia constant, that is called as h, such that so g into h is equal to, so inertia constant, so g into h, that is given by your kinetic energy Ke, that is equal to half into m into omega s in terms of megajoule. Okay, so what is g here? So g is given as machine rating, that is depending upon the base MVA for three-phase system, and h is defined as inertia constant in megajoule per MVA or megawatt per MVA, we can consider. Okay, so that is G into H relation. So product of G into H, this will use your kinetic energy. So therefore, so from this expression, we'll take M outside. So what you will get? 2 times of G into H. 2 times cross multiplication is 2 times of G into H divided by this omega s. So this is also equal to G into H divided by omega is equal to 2 pi f. So 2 get cancels. G into H by pi by f, that is in terms of megajoule second per electrical radian. So that is your M. G into H by pi by f, that will give your M. Okay, and omega s, that is we have 2 pi f in electrical radians, radian per second. So electrical radian per second. So therefore you can write it as G into H. So we'll write it in pi is called as 180 degree, that is F. So conversion of radian to degree, so M into J second for electrical degrees. Okay, so this is about dynamics of synchronous machine. So next class we will discuss about the swing equation. What is the swing equation in power system stability? Okay, so this dynamics of synchronous machine concept is very much required to derive the swing equation. So this is a very important concept, that is the swing equation. So it will ask, this derivation is very much time asked in the examination. In all the time of the examination, the swing equation is very much important. Okay, so we will discuss swing equation in next class. Thank you very much.